Christine will spend the rest of her life comparing herself to Robin, and that's a tragedy.
Kody Brown, he's decided that it's time for an apology tour. Yes, I can't believe it either. The same man who once rolled his eyes at the idea of saying sorry, he's now suddenly humble enough to sit down one-on-one and make amends? Please, this is not growth. This is a master lesson in deception. Kody, I see right through you, and I'm not buying it. So we got to discuss it all because this is a damn mess. Welcome back to The Mess with IQ. And really, TLC, is this a comedy or a tragedy? Because I'm not sure whether to laugh or light a candle for the last brain cell that this man has left.
I'm sorry. I was at fault too. Is that all anybody's looking for?
And let's not pretend that this is some spiritual awakening, okay? This is Kody, the me, myself, and I, and my hair brown. Okay, this man doesn't do soul searching. He does damage control. He does whatever in his best self-interest for him and his wife.
I would love healing with Mary. I would love healing with Janelle. I would love healing with Christine.
So now what? Why this sudden interest in amends? Guess what? I'll tell you, because it's not about family healing. This is about salvaging his image. Kody's worst nightmare isn't losing his wives. We know that. It's losing the spotlight. Kody's not bending the knee, you guys. He's rebranding.
Why don't you meet her where she's at? I'm trying to understand.
There's nothing left to say right now about that. I wanted to apologize with all my heart.
Now, you know what we do on this channel? I always like to play devil's advocate. So let's just put out a little corner here for him with, the devil's advocate section. What if he is genuinely sorry? It is a respectable question to ask. What if he actually looked into the mirror and thought, wow, maybe I was a garbage husband. And then reality hits and I'm like, there's no way in hell that this man is going to do that. No way in hell. This is the same man who blamed Christine for his lack of attraction to her. The same man who accused Janelle of being too independent, being the Teflon queen. This is the same man who left Mary hanging for over a decade, begging for his attention. Kody doesn't do accountability. No. He does excuses. So what's changed? Okay, we just saw the tell-all. It was a few months ago. That was filmed, I think, in October of 2024. I'm assuming that this new apology tour, it obviously happened somewhere between October of 2024 and May of 2025, because I think that's when filming wrapped.
I said I didn't love you. That wasn't true.
So what changed? I think it's simple. The public turned. The wives turned. The narrative turned. Kody is not apologizing because he's sorry. He's apologizing because he finally realized that he is the villain in his own show. And in Kody's fragile little ego of a world, that's probably worse than divorce. And here's the question I keep asking myself. And you guys probably are too. If he really cared, then why now? Why not 5 years ago? Why not when Christine was sobbing on the couch, begging him to show her a crumb of affection? Why not when Mary was desperately clinging to the marriage that he'd already emotionally abandoned? Actually, hell, he emotionally abandoned all three of his wives. Why not when Janelle was crying in her car because she couldn't even recognize her own marriage anymore? Back then, I think he thought he was untouchable. But narcissists really only change their tune when the audience boos and when there's a possibility that the paycheck is not coming. Because narcissists, they don't apologize when they feel remorse. They apologize because they want something. You guys know this. We've talked about this. They want power. They want control, sympathy. I don't know, maybe some airtime. We're going to get to that in a second. Just pick your poison. Kody's not bending the knee. He's rebranding. But I think that the theory goes even a little bit more sinister than that. Because I think the real motive is that Kody, I think he needs content. And content equals a paycheck. Because I ask myself, why this dramatic about face with Kody? 1 minute, he was like annoyed that Suki would even ask him about apologizing to the wives. It's like he couldn't fathom lowering himself to apologize because he didn't think he did anything wrong. And then like a few weeks later, here he is making the rounds like a door-to-door salesman for his sorries. I don't think that Kody did this for the women. I don't even think he did it for his children. I don't think he did it for closure. I honestly don't even think he did it for redemption. This man did it for a storyline. I guess you could say he did it for Robin. I don't know. Because here's the thing. We know what happens if Kody only films with Robin. Guess what? The show, or at least the show with him in it and his existence in it, it dies. Nobody cares about Robin crying, clutching her pearls, dabbing her face with tissues, while Kody plays this king martyr and her pit bull and attack dog. The audience doesn't want to see that. The wives don't want to see that. His kids don't want to see that. TLC doesn't want to see that. So what's left? Listen, guys, the only way to weave Kody, actually for Kody to weave himself back into the story, into this family narrative, is for him to manufacture this stupid redemption arc and enter the apology tour. And let me tell you, this is not about healing. This is about staying on payroll. This is not sorries for Christine or Janelle or Mary, his children, even us. This is an apology for TLC and their advertisers. And if that's not sinister, I don't know what is. This is weaponized remorse. It's a fake apology because that's not neutral. To me, this is another form of control. That's why this is like a master lesson in manipulation. Because when he apologizes on camera, guess what happens? Suddenly the burden shifts. And the women now have to respond. Do they forgive? Do they reject him? Either way, they're dragged back into his orbit. And that's the brilliance of narcissistic manipulation. He can weaponize remorse. And it's not to heal, but it's to create a new storyline, new drama, new tensions, new content. This is casting. This is writing a story 101. And I'm not buying it. Even his stupid acting sorry faces, I don't buy it. The little squinty-eyed, furrowed brow thing where he acts like he's sorry. No, you don't look sorry. You look constipated, Kody. You're not selling it. This isn't sorrow. It's desperation. And it's wrapped in a bad perm. And it's so crazy because I feel like there's like this narcissist playbook. Anytime a narcissist is caught in scandal, they don't necessarily apologize when they've hurt people. They apologize before sentencing, before they're going to jail, before the audience turns on them, before their fans turn on them. By now, it's textbook. So yeah, he's trying to rehab his image. He's not sorry. He's strategizing. Now, you know that probably if you watch this channel, you like to deep dive. You like to deep dive with us, with me, with this group. And we've talked a lot about narcissists and narcissism. And there's two things that psychology tells us that narcissists fear. It's really only two. They fear irrelevance and they fear exposure. They fear being forgotten. That's the irrelevance. And they fear being seen for who they really are. That's the exposure. And right now, Kody is facing both. The wives left, the audience booed, and the narrative has flipped. And I think that this is his last Hail Mary. Crying on cue, begging for forgiveness. You know, if you really did feel genuine remorse, Kody, then Robin's ass would be sitting right next to you with the apology, because both of your asses need to apologize to these women.
Did you like being called a sacred cow? Moo. I don't know. Whatever. I don't care.
Healing for the wives is moving on, building better lives, finding love, having better futures, finally lining their pockets and not letting Robin drain it all out. I think Kody's apology is just background noise. I hope that when they're sitting there, it sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. Because that's fine, Kody, if you want to apologize, but we're looking for changed behavior. It's what happens after the apology that matters. What are you going to do now? How is your behavior going to change? So don't just say that you're sorry. Do sorry. Live sorry. Act sorry. Talking crap about Christine and suing her, countersuing her, whatever, that's not sorry. Calling one of your ex-wife's friends a bitch, that's not sorry. It's not. When a toddler breaks a lamp or his toy or something, and then he or she says that they're sorry, it's because they don't want a timeout. That's Kody. He's not sorry that the lamp broke. He's sorry he got caught. And I think this is why it could just go deep. It's like this narcissistic rabbit hole. Because I think Kody is addicted to being the hero in his story. Remember how he always used to talk about he loved his kids thinking of him as the hero. He always talks about being the hero, like how he saved Robin. I think he does like being seen as this hero. His whole identity is built around being this leader, this patriarch, the guy with all the answers. If his audience, his children, his women see him as a fool, a narcissist, an emotional manipulator, his whole fantasy collapsed. That's why we saw all that anger coming out in the past few years. Because even his kids were like, you are an idiot. We don't respect you. We don't believe you. We don't want to follow you, you know? That's why he wants optics. That's why he wants it to seem like he wants forgiveness. I don't believe that for one freaking second. Not 1 second. You know what else apology comes with? It comes with accountability. Is that what we're going to see this season? I want to know. I'll be listening. I'm sure you guys will too. If he starts this stupid thing like, I could have done better, but you made me act this way, or it's because of A, B, C, and D, that's not an apology. That is an insult, basically wrapped in a bow. And he's kind of notorious for doing that. So no, Kody, it happened and you did it. So own it. Own it. I honestly think that the only thing that he's like truly sorry about is that he's sorry he can't control the narrative anymore. He's sorry that he's not the leader of his family. He's probably sorry that Christine left. I bet you anything, if he could go back and rewind the clock with that whole one house idea, he wouldn't have handled it like such an asshat. I don't think he'll say that now, but I bet you in a split minute, he would do that. And I'm glad that the wives are not letting Kody teach them what love or leadership or accountability looks like. I'm glad. Don't follow any type of blueprint that Kody Brown has followed. Like, stay away from it. Do the opposite. Just do the opposite. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out this season. And at the end of the day, like, nobody asked for this apology tour, and I don't think anyone's going to buy it. We'll see. But my first take is, I doubt it. What everyone asked for was accountability. And accountability involves your partner that you think's perfect. You guys both should be apologizing to them. And until I see accountability, your stupid apology tour means pretty much nothing. So yeah, guys, I am back. I've been going on some rants recently, so if you haven't seen the other videos, and some are just regular videos, not just lives, we'll be going live here soon. I miss you guys. I definitely want to do a live. The last one we did was just looking at the preview for the upcoming season, but I have a few, so definitely check it out. I'll put the playlist here for you to watch and catch up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.